Okay, well that sucks. I just recorded 30 minutes of vintage story here, expecting to be able to show people the basics and some things, and for some reason, I think it's probably the Linux base for this game, something to do with that. It stopped showing the picture, and I also had to do something different just to even start recording it. But in general, the game it runs really well on most things, and this is my little bedroom I made. I actually had to put these wallpaper panels on all these different slots. Hopefully the video works. I guess I'm gonna try to be really quick with this time. The crock 0% spoiled, so it's gonna go bad soon. I need to use that. I guess I will take this food with me. I just caught a rabbit, and you guys didn't get to see that, I guess, because whatever. So I'm gonna take these 2 bowls with me. Yeah, this is my house though. I've got a little, I'm gonna show everything really quick. You can store objects and stuff on the walls with tool racks. I got a little cooking area with peat. These are empty crocks and some working things I need. A lot of materials. Got a pie on the table that I made somewhat recently. I'll take a piece of that. This is my, I just added salt to my curdled cheese stuff, and that's finished already, so I'm gonna finish that process. Here's how this works. It's all very, very hands-on, so I'm gonna pick this up. I think I want to leave half of this here, but I pick that up. Now I set that down, add a stick to it, squeeze. This is like the type of process for everything in the game. Then it says to add 5 salt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Add the salt. Now I pick up the raw cheese. Now I can't place that there, so I'm gonna do something different. I'm actually gonna take some of this with me. Wait, 1 liter. You know, I'm gonna set that down. And then I'm gonna take a whole bucket of it. Fresh for 8 days, so that's a good amount of time. I'm gonna put this linen back. And I have a storage place that I think is still there. This was for a special kind of blue cheese. Fun enough. These guys are creepy. They're basically Minecraft skeletons that launch spears at you. Okay, so this here is where I originally had blue cheese aging. But I don't think it works, and I'm not sure why. It's supposed to be open to the outdoors. Blue cheese, it's, you need a cellar that's open to the outdoors, and I don't understand why this wouldn't count as a cellar though. Maybe I need to block it in more. Well, you'll get to it. We'll probably forget about that. I've got enough cheese for now. Oh yeah, you get a lot hungrier if you have something in your hand right there. But here's my outdoor farm. I got some pigs in there. I guess, yeah, I'm going to try to be quick with showing off some of this stuff. I set up a lot of lamps and stuff around lanterns. Cranberry brandy and aquavite. This is from, you take wine, you have to take fruit juice from a fruit press, then age that into wine, then you take the wine and you put it in here, and you boil it into the condenser. It makes brandy, then you make or whiskey or whatever, and then everything will turn into aquavite if you do it another time. This is some of my honey. Storage. Got a storage room here, and pickled cabbage. Okay, I forgot I had that in there, so I'm going to store that. It starts going bad. Pickled cabbage should be in one of these. Yeah, there it is. I've got 2 pies, pear pie, fruit pie. I've got cured meat. It takes a lot of salt, and you have to mine salt, but cured meat lasts a long time, 10 years. That's awesome. All this cheese. I actually could have put more cheese in here. I'm probably going to have to do that. I'll go get that eventually. If I even keep playing this. Like, I'm just showing off that this is the world. I didn't even, like, since the video messed up, I didn't get to say this. This is the world that I've set up for a server. We mostly played vanilla, except we had we each had Prospect together on here, and for some reason it works because it's player side or whatever. So we can see the some of that. Oh, here's another thing. I can show this off. Clay. Here's how to make things. Raw bowls. Bowls are useful, and I use a lot of them for different things. So, see, I've got only 8 pieces in my hand right now, but it doesn't, each block does not count as a single one. So, the main reason I like this game is specifically because it's meditational like this. You can just zone out and do some surprisingly relaxing stuff. And the weird part about it is that, unlike in other games, when you have to do things like this, and it permanently creates something like a little container, it makes it feel much more valuable that you just had to make them yourself. So the metalworking, which I've got all these types of metal here. I actually have to put the stuff in there, and like you'll have to put the thing in there, heat it up, or start the fire. It heats up and it shows the temperature go up to like 900, and once it's around 900, you can grab one of these, put it in your other hand, then you hold it and use a hammer and clank out the shape. You have to hit each block in different directions. It's a little bit difficult some of the time at first, but then you figure out how it works and all the best ways to do things. And it's another thing that's surprisingly relaxing. I've got all this metal here, copper and tin and iron and all this stuff that can be combined. And this is my workshop where I can add, this is my windmill connection where I add a gear here or there, and my pulverizer will start, or I'll show my hammer. This is my health hammer. I can put things on there. Every time I hear this, it reminds me of Futurama. I can heat up metal here and then toss it right on. And I've got a cairn that'll grind things, and then there are other ways to have this set up so I don't have to break it each time, but it works perfectly fine like this. So let me show something else. Since I finished this clay, here's one of the early game things. Oh, whoops. My guest bedroom. Oh, I didn't even show my first place yet. This is my storage room. Got a bunch of peat and firewood and forge stuff, extras, feathers, crocks, and a bunch of bowls, tools. This is my tannery area. Lime water, you put hides in there, and then you scrape them with a knife in the crafting menu, and then you put them in here. Then you put them in the weak tannins, then strong tannins, and after the strong tannins, it turns into leather. You make tannins with oak logs in the water, and I have an extra barrel here so I can refill them in the middle of doing things. So I can turn this into weak and then heavy and then fill these up, etc. Then I also added this. Whoa! I added this room, which is just dye, just for fun, just to make things. Outside, it's getting dark. This is my greenhouse. I also chiseled this skull thing. This is the front of my house. I was gonna show how this works. Dry grass. So I put the clay in there, dry grass. And that's 8 sticks. Then you can use wood or that is the last of that. And you light that. And after a couple days, the bowls are finished. After a day or a day and a half or something. Oh, yeah. Current rift activity is medium. that's the lucky. Surprisingly lucky for a red light drifter. And then, yeah, let me show all this really quick. This is my farm, my greenhouse. Keeps the temperature a little better so the place lasts, so I can grow things a little bit longer here. This is my fruit press. It goes into a bucket, and then I can fill these up. This is black currant wine, rye ale. Rye ale turns into rye whiskey. Red currant wine turns into red currant brandy. Got lots of cranberry wine. I got honey. I've never used honey to make mead, and I don't want to because it's difficult to build up, and you can use honey for poultice things, but actually, let me take this. This is I can use that for compost. This is my sheep area. There's monsters in here. The sheep, the generation I have on sheep is limited to 4. This one's generation 3. They get more docile as you get their generation further. But as I tried to say in the last video I started with a ewe and a ram. The ram just showed up because they're horny. They actually work somewhat like real animals. They're mechanics tied to the animals. So the ram just shows up because I had a ewe there. They're just lured in basically. And I caged them together, and after many reproductions, they were all boys. My ewe just kept having boy after boy. Yeah, see, that's generation 10 like this, they're not going to freak out. All the other lower ones, they still freak out. When you first get chickens, they're jumping around like crazy. It took so long to get their generations to this point, but it feels pretty cool because now they're calm, now they're much easier to handle. And I've got so much flax ready that I'm going to be able to feed them excessively for a while. These cleavers will one-shot them when they are a high enough generation. Also got this bunny section that I made for some reason. That was supposed to be my pig area, but it screwed up. I didn't have a light in there or something, so the pigs despawned. I didn't know that was how it worked. Okay, so I've showed, I think, most of my base. And explained a lot of the mechanics. This. Okay, so I'm going to turn that into compost. That's going to be bad eventually. That'll be more compost eventually. Spoiled. Put my bowl back. I'll put these eggs in here. Okay. Yeah, there's so much to this game though. There's realistic climate on the map. Like, I'm right here in a temperate area. If I were to go really far south, it would be warmer. And if you go far enough south, they actually have like biomes that have, I think, certain kinds of like African, like hyenas and stuff like that, salt plains, things that you would only find in certain locations. But yeah, this game, I used to play a lot of Minecraft every so often. I feel like now that this game is on my radar, every so often when I get that Minecraft urge, it's just gonna be this. I'm just gonna play this game. I mean, modded Minecraft is so much more popular. There are a huge number of mods to improve upon it. So it's hard to say I wouldn't play Minecraft again, but where this game is going and the way this game is, the realism, this is much more my style. Like, just the fact that animals have their own little personalities and stuff. The fact that I can stack things and store things in realistic, open ways that just look cool, that's awesome. Here's what are they called? A shiver? They're creepy. I don't see where anything's surface shiver. Those things are very creepy. This is my local trader. This trader isn't great for many things. Usually it's a lot of stuff that's kind of decent for selling if I were to have been more advanced in my metal work, but in general, this trader sold glass blocks early. Glass is kind of difficult to get early on. So that was actually really useful. I definitely appreciated that. I continue to forget what the button is. I'm just going to check so I can controls. Character inventory C. Okay. Dairy. Yeah, the more proper nutrition you get, your health will go higher. I think the health in the game is normally at, or my character's health is 15, I think. So when I'm at 21.9 right now, it's because of my nutrition, which is not actually even that high. I mean, it's pretty good, but I can increase it by a lot. I think it'll get to like 25, which it's a lot bigger of a deal than it feels like at first, because the moves will take a massive chunk out of your health. If you have armor, it'll be a much reduced chunk. A lot about this game is pretty cool. It's set up to be somewhat realistic, and I was playing on the server with my nephew who lived all the way down here. He has his farm set up, and he was crazy with a lot of the extent of his production, whereas I was keeping things kind of small scale, I suppose. I also have this little mini base I put here in between. He made a ship with a sailboat thing and connected it to this water. So he took me all the way over to here at one point, so I could go all the way over here and get limestone. That was a trip. Then my friend Berserker, his base is right here. Kind of close to mine, but he didn't know that he could play very often, which sucked. But that's what happens when you're going to work. He made this awesome base that appears to be flipping people this is limited to fairly early game stuff. I gave him some help at different points just because it was obviously needed. But yeah, he was getting into the basics, pouring your molds and getting some basic food storage stuff going. Like, he's got some stuff in here, and it's funny because this instance of the game is just what I copied. Each of us made a copy of the world before it finished up. I wrote that on there. But yeah, before we finished up the world, and I made this little mini base picture, attempted to make it look like his base in here. But yeah, before what's this? Oh, that's actually kind of spooky. Oh, he was setting up. Okay, well, yeah, that's his base. I could technically, I mean, that's what I was going to mention. This is my download, so all this stuff is just here now. It's like remnants of his base that I can look at, but I could take it all and condense it into my own if I wanted. Oh yeah, he was just setting up his Android and stuff. Say I was impressed with this game. I wanted just something like Minecraft but with more depth to it. I think someone mentioned this game. Look at my gear going. That's my basically sanity. Oh, there's what's his name. This is what it looks like when a temporal storm goes on. That's kind of the Lovecraftian factor. Yeah, also, early on, this game is really frustrating. Some of the enemies are way too difficult. It feels frustrating for some time that my friend was wanting to give up. Actually, I think all of us, everyone, me and the two people I had on the server, all of us wanted to go give up at different points because of how frustrating the early game can be. And I kind of had that moment when I started playing on my own game. This game, I don't think I ever wanted to give up, but early game did have some frustrating moments. But yeah, this game is awesome in all kinds of ways. Let's get my dairy up. See, now my health is at 22.3. And I still got 3 liters of cottage cheese left to chug down. Yeah, I've got storage for all these crocs. Yeah, I started eating my food that's going bad a little bit, so I got more crocs ready. But you can see the stuff you can make. Red meat stew with boiled onion and cabbage. Hefty red meat stew, those are just all meat, so those are very filling. I've got poultry soup with onion, that's going bad in 18 days, so I need to eat that soon. Stuff in here, cranberry jam, fresh for 11 years. These pies will be gone bad in 20 days. Cheese, good for 6 years. This pickled cabbage or sauerkraut, 3.2 years. Regular cabbage, 47 days on this. But I've got so much grain, and the grain can be milled in the cairn. and then you can heat up the clay oven and add water to the flour and put the dough in there and make 4 bread pieces at once, or make a pie like this. I could make, wait, is it only 4? I think it's only 4. Let me see if this is right. So you add water to the flour. Whoops. And then when you put this down on a table, it gives the bottom, and then you can put the top on. You can also make it without the top. But let me see what I need. Vegetables. I need vegetables, so I'm gonna make a veggie. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, veggie pie. I think 8 is the limit. Check this out. This should work. I've never made a cabbage pie. That's weird, but it doesn't sound horrible. 3,600 saturation. Then I put the top on it. Then over here, I'll light this up. And that just heats up. And, well, I can also make some bread afterwards, because I will have enough. So check this out. Oh, and notice the top of this one is designed. You can change the design with a knife. So I take this pie, wait for this to finish up. Oh, I'll take this off. So you just wait for this to heat up. That's how so much of this stuff goes. I showed you the pottery production. Now we see the temperature almost at 300 and the wood's gone now. So I put that in. Cabbage pie raw. 120. And also, so this is going to be grain and vegetable. Both things that I kind of need. Oh, some of this stuff is going to be going bad. But that's okay, because I don't even know if I'm going to play this specific map anymore. I'm just showing this off because we put a lot of time into it. Cabbage pie, part baked. Like, I played in this for, what year are we on? Does it show that? Year 3, okay. So this is, I think, the default time. So we kind of played through a lot of this game pretty quickly. Cabbage pie ready. Now I can fill this up with those. Set the pie down. That is a lot of vegetable saturation. Or satisfying. What do they call it? Satiation. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And the satiation can be general or specific. So now that I've got these here, I can just sit and you can actually see them start. These are part baked now. You can see them starting to rise slowly but surely. It's funny, I've looked for games like this that just are, they're chill, just meditational. For some reason it seems like there are not enough like this that give you a sense of value just for the little bit of extra effort that things require. So like that table here is actually just a stone block that I chiseled. So the fact that I see that, and this back part, I chiseled this whole thing. So this design is purely what I created. And it's interesting that they've made it so that you can still place things on things depending on how you have it set. Or like a block can still be considered insulated depending on how it's been edited. But you need to have a chisel in your hand and a hammer in the other hand. So you got your left hand and right hand. And I'm pretty sure the chisel has to go in your left hand. If not, then it's the other way around. But that allows you to select a block and just start chiseling. So these are all done now. And this is still hot enough to keep making stuff. I just don't really need anything else. So I'm going to finish this. Put this away. I'm going to throw this rock. Since I rushed these 2 videos, this is my guest bedroom. Don't know if I showed that one in this video. Tools. Yeah, some of these rooms are made surprisingly nice. My meteoric blade. Other base. Since this is my world now, I wouldn't have taken anything from anyone else on the actual server, but yeah, something about this game is very peaceful. And in the last one, before the recording messed up, I didn't realize my screen was frozen for half the time I was going through it. There was a rabbit, and I was like, let's see if I can get it. And I hit it in the first try. That I end up applying empathy to the random creatures in the game sometimes. It's like, who cares about this? And they do respawn. It's not like simulation where they start somewhere and roam around. It is just spawning in whatever chunk you're in. Sadly, if it was like Dwarf Fortress, then I would have a much stronger sense of empathy. But because it's like, oh, this creature is only here because it's somehow gotten here. But yeah, that's how hunting works early on. I ended up making 3 spears almost every time just so I could run around and do that. I still got the bone on me from the last video. Black currants, let's eat these and get some fruit. So yeah, it's September in game, and each month I think for my game has 9 days, 7 days, 9 days or something. I can't remember. Maybe it's 9. But it's got the whole 12-month year. And the climate's realistic. The geology is weirdly realistic. Like, igneous rocks and stuff. I don't even know, like, they got metals and certain things where it makes sense, I guess. Of course, they've also got the Lovecraftian side of things to keep it entertaining. But I really do enjoy that it's got the realism combined with things that are still fun. And in a lot of ways, it's relaxing. I honestly wonder if the game could pull that off better than this one does. Because a lot of games are too wordy for me to, it's like an RPG thing, and I love the thought of getting into a game that's like a book. But I feel like I get too bored and I want more of a hands-on experience. That's what this game provides. It's like direct. You're just doing these little artistic processes and stuff like that. It's very involved and meditational. And then there's like, it's also cool because you see my base, like a person who knows the game at least, they can walk through and see a base and see how things are set up, and they know how a person does things. It gives you, like, it's all visual. You see how I place things, how I've got things set up, and you know how my working process goes, which is not normal to a game. There aren't many games that like pull that off well. I guess modern Minecraft does in certain ways, but a lot of it still is just in chests where you store things or whatever. But yeah, this game surprised me to a very strong degree. Completely. I mean, I wanted something like this, and I hoped for something like this. I hoped it was going to be as good as I wanted, but it still surprised me. Easily one of the best gaming experiences I've had in recent years. Like, the way this place looks so cozy. I made it completely. All these rock choices, that was all me, and it looks awesome. The little personalization efforts, like, it's just, it's not normal to have all that stuff in a game too, and it's perfect for like our casual little server we had, because it allows people to see what other players are doing. Oh, there are the bowls I made. So that's how that works. It takes a little while, and now I've got additional bowls that I can store right there, or I can use these with some fat. And watch this. Combine that with fat. Now I've got an oil lamp. This is exactly what I needed here. So I get out my bismuth bronze because this is a less important endeavor. So I'm going to need the rest of this. Looks like this is about it's dark enough to matter. Yeah. So now that looks cool. It's not nearly as dark as it was. it should have been long enough to milk them now. Sometimes they don't. Yeah. Let's see if it works. Got one. And this guy is not friendly, so I have to stay back. He's only generation 2. Okay, got 2. And okay, I think I've got all of these. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get rid of a few of these, like generation 4, generation 3. Yeah, those little ones grew up. Generation 2, gonna have to get rid of this one. But I'm gonna leave that for now. So, because they give a lot of meat since I feed them a lot, they're like hefty. They'll give a lot of red meat, and that means I can end up preserving the meat and it'll last a long time. But I've got 2 buckets of milk now. And I've also got this container that's got space for 2 more buckets of milk. So now that I've got that, the way you do this is you add 2 pickles, or 1 pickle for each 25 liters, I think. So that turns it into 50 liters of curdled milk after 3 days of sealing. So I do that, and that'll be good. I think I want to keep some more of this with me. If I eat all of this, I should have my dairy maxed out. Oh, maybe the update changed some of this stuff. Let me see if these can stack. Nope, cannot stack. That sucks. But yeah, this game is just super cool. That's all I gotta say. Like, it's... I can't wait for well, I'm not sure. I mean, I can't wait for new updates to like add more depth, I guess. To like, it's not that there can be more. There can be more late game. There can be more. I would say, I think the main part that is lacking right now in my mind is pre-late game, because there's like high-tech stuff that would take a long time to get. But then the moderately late game before that, it's like you're gonna be stuck for a long time before you get to that late game. And in between there, it's like you can get better backpacks, for example, and it's a lot of work. But otherwise, there's not a lot of stuff. Like, you have to make chromium water instead of lime water, like, or is it with the lime water, or I think you use the lime water and then you use chromium stuff on it afterwards, so you can make these better backpacks. A lot of stuff goes into it, and that also needs some other material, and that requires this steel pickaxe that I just got from the other base, because I hadn't even gotten steel yet. Steel takes a lot of work. Too much work for me to feel like I would have done it. I feel like I'm fine with iron, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'll just settle for the leather backpacks I got, because they're pretty cool. But, yeah, this game is awesome. I mean, you can cook meals in sets of 6, so I've got 3 pieces of meat here. I can put all 3 of those there. Then I can put three onions. This keeps doubling things. 3 onions, and then I add, watch this, add 1, 2, 3 servings of red meat soup with onion. That's because if you're going to use meat, you gotta have 2 separate stacks of meat. Or you can just add water and it turns it into a soup with 1 stack of meat. And then I can add, because of the way this is, I can add berries, I believe. No, it's gotta be another vegetable, maybe. I don't think I can add berries. If I had 2 pieces of meat, then I could add a vegetable and berries, but yeah. So I can use my torch to light this, or I could show you. This is what you start off with a lot of the time. Actually, you only need one of these to light a torch, and then your torches will last forever. Which, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the torches seeming to last forever. That's one thing that kind of makes a lot of the hassle seem pretty chill. Just being able to light a fire up with a torch. But this cooks through, and every crock can fit 4 meals in it. And you can seal the meals with beeswax or fat. I've got so much beeswax that I can actually just use it one for a 3-meal group, and it doesn't make a big difference. So if you watch this, it takes a minute to cook. Red meat soup with onion and orange oak bullet mushroom. So yeah, they added more personalization recently, like more stacks of things you can place, more colored types of clay that you can actually have different colored material. In this current patch we were playing, I think everything clay would turn out the same dark color, whether it's blue or red, and now I think the clay can be colored to intentionally show different colors or naturally. So I put that in here, and now this is a container of red meat soup with the, now I put that on there, and it is a sealed container, so then that's going to last a lot longer. So I can bring that down here, put it in my cellar, and now once it cools off, it'll show how long it'll last, but it'll probably last over a year. So that's just how that works, and it's pretty cool. And if I added wood into this really quickly, it would light up again. So I'm not going to do that. But yeah, red meat pie, got my cabbage pie, shears, can make wood planks, but I don't know, it's just a lot of stuff. That is awesome. This game is awesome. So if you're the type of person that likes laid back, like a game that's just like adult Minecraft, this is what you want. It's super chill. I can imagine like playing this with my kids. If you got kids, I feel like this would be a better game to play with your kids than Minecraft, because you can get them focused more on that more meaningful depth, as opposed to the kind of casual laid back side of Minecraft. There's just more to it, and it's more I don't know. I imagine people who prefer a game like this are more likely to read books rather than watch movies. Not that there's anything wrong with either, but you know what I mean. Just more depth to it. And that's cool. The world needs more calm people, more maturity, more laid-back attitudes. And that's what this game is about. And I strongly appreciate that. Oh yeah, I got all these tree cuttings that I have not planted. Just because I feel like I'm probably going to quit this game. But I did want to show it off. I actually didn't even show my windmill. Windmill up there, double windmill. Yeah, that's actually ouch. I want to see how fast this is, because that was pretty fast. Let's see. Yeah, I can make... Check this out. I'll show you how this works. And then I'll end this video. I mean, this is just... whatever. The hell, this heats up to about 900. Shit. And the health hammer can make mainly two things, which is you can make iron ingots, which you start with balloon chunks, and it hammers them out and gets rid of black stuff around it. And then everything else, all ingots you can stack too, and it will make plates. So this should get around at least 800, I think should work. Oh, can't pick it up without this. That's the type of thing, like you'll pick it up and throw it because it's too hot. So if I put this down and try to make a plate, and then I set one on, now it's going to hammer out the plate. It just does that automatically. But you saw how many different things I could make. Most of these I can hammer out. You have to pick each direction for each little tiny block to hammer it upwards, hammer it downwards. After a while, it's really confusing at first, but eventually, I think I got pretty good at it, so I don't waste materials. This is just about done. I can show something else now. I can set that down, and then I can try to make chain, because I think I'll need it. Oh, maybe I won't. Damn. See if I split this. A chain is made. I mean, I'm just doing this for fun, so it doesn't matter if I need it. But if I make a mistake, then it screws it up, and I have to like dissolve this or add another block to the top of it. I can dissolve it down to 20 pieces, which is half as expensive as it is. But see that? That's what I've got here, so I can turn things in. But now I pick it up and it's almost cooled off completely. So now tin bronze chain. It's a pretty quick process when I got this to hammer out the plates. to be one of those blocks. Of all blocks I could have messed with, I could have messed with anything stuff. That screws up the placement of the, whatchamacallit, I think. So if I put that back over here, yeah, that's the type of random thing. Let's see if it works. Yeah, see, it's not even in place. This block needs to be a full regular block. I did try before, since I already did it, it's screwed up. I did try to make it shorter before. Look at this. If I set this, I could actually make it so I can walk under it. Sadly, it doesn't count as a block for attaching that, which sucks. But that's how chiseling works. It's surprisingly detailed and surprisingly awesome. Way cooler than any details you can get in standard Minecraft. But yeah, it's an awesome game. I wonder if there's anything else out there regretting not mentioning, because I may actually want to make a playthrough of this game eventually. That would be really cool. I don't know if I'd want to play with mods. I think I might not. But I think if I was going to do that, kind of did burn out on it recently. And I think if I was going to play it, it'd have to be a year or so with some patches, probably several patches down the line. They added tameable elks. Like, you can actually tame them now. You could get them previously by buying them, but now you can tame them. That's kind of a big deal. But, yeah, I suppose I've shown as much as I would want to. Let's get a piece of this. Let's get a piece of the good stuff. This should fill me up completely. Actually, before I go, I'm gonna try sleeping, get my hunger all the way down, and see if this cabbage. Oh, didn't work. Since when is a stone here? Well, let's hit this. Yeah, this is a temporal stone. Medium temporal stone. And it gets kind of smoky. Okay. 23.4. What you gotta do is try to broke at the same time. So I'm gonna go here, get a little drinky drink. That would make things extra messed up. It's fine. This game does have some cool effects. It makes me wonder if there's other kinds of effects they could add. Like, they have podcasts. They should have some, like, they already include shrooms in the game. So they can definitely really have some kind of mushroom hallucination effects. They could have, they could have some kind of, like, a lot of things, I suppose. caffeination effect. If you make coffee, I don't think they have coffee in the game, which would be a really cool addition. Put tobacco, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna quit here, but yes, I highly recommend getting this game if you like anything similar to this, because it is an awesome experience. Even the casual flood mapping at the start is just done in a really decent way. See ya.